In this video I will show you how I made two decals for my Smith Premier No. 5 typewriter and how I apply them to the machine. When I bought the Smith Premier a long time ago, it looked like this, and after I had done an extensive restoration it looked a lot better. However, as you can see, there is something missing. It has no decals. Unfortunately, I could not save those because the paint layers underneath them were loose from a metal surface. But now the time had come to do something about it, and I started researching on the internet if and how I could make the decals myself, or if I would have to buy them. I found out that for printing in metallic gold I would need an Alps printer, and then, as a gift from heaven at a flea market, I stumbled over this Alps M2010. It was complete with manual, cable, CD with driver and some new cartridges, even a brand new metallic gold one. The seller was not sure if the Alps was in working order and asked only 15 euros for it. For such a small price I took the risk and bought it. I also had learned that I would need a computer with Windows XP or a previous operating system, since there are no drivers available for Windows 10 or 11. And I knew that it should have a parallel port to connect to this printer. Fortunately, I still had this old Toshiba Tegra laptop that meets both requirements. For the reproduction of the decals I used the vector graphics software Inkscape. The advantage of the vector graphics software is that the graphics drawn are scalable without destroying curves. Curves remain nice and smooth without the ugly stepped effect when scaling a JPEG, for example. I started with the large front decal Smith Premier No. 5 made in USA. On the internet I found a reasonably sharp picture of it and used Photoshop to crop and retouch it to a level that made it usable as a template in Inkscape. I also scaled it as good as possible to the character height and total text width as I had measured and noted during the restoration of the machine. After importing the template into Inkscape, the labor-intensive work starts. First I place some help lines. Then I draw the contour of a character in straight lines, using the help lines to position the points. This contour is called a path. Next I refine the paths by pulling straight lines into curves, moving points and manipulating the handles of points. I make corrections for the wear of the photograph decal, especially at the extremities of the characters. To get a better impression of the shape of the character without a disturbing template in the background, I switch the layer with the template off and make some more fine adjustments in the path. And now my first character, the M, is finished. I copy paste it and move it to the position of the other M on this decal. For character with similar elements I also used the copy function. I then modify the copy by removing, adding or moving points. For symmetrical characters I need only half the path. I copy and mirror it, reposition the mirrored half and combine the two halves into one path. lot of hours later, all the character paths are ready and I can fill them in. Since the decal is to be printed in the single color metallic gold, I don't need to use an exact color code, but can simply fill in with black. Now the first decal image is ready, and the next action is to do all those time-consuming steps again for the second decal, the one on the front of the carriage. Once the second one is ready too, I put both images in the same file to be able to print them as a set. I converted the Inkscape SVG file to a PDF and transferred it from my desktop to the laptop for printing. I placed the metallic gold cassette in one of the slots of the printer. It doesn't matter in which slot, since the printer automatically detects where it is. I put a water slide sheet in the feeder and now we are ready to print. Then back to the laptop, where the PDF is waiting to be printed. I check the paper size and the type of the paper. Then I check the box Use Spot Color and select Single Ink and Metallic Gold. I make sure that page scaling is none and then I click OK for printing. The data is sent to the printer and the printing starts. Now the moment of truth has come. I watch the sheet going through the printer and a few seconds later a nice water slide decal printed in gold comes out. Hurrah, it worked! The final step in this project is to apply the decals to the typewriter. I cut the decals on all sides at approximately 1.5 mm outside the printing and give the corners a small radius. I put the decal in the water with the backing paper side up. This to prevent that the ends curl up and make sure that it's completely underwater. I wait for about 10 seconds and turn it face up. Now I wait for about 50 seconds. I may not wait too long because the film is very thin and if it starts floating I cannot handle it anymore and is the decal lost. Then I carefully lift it out of the water and place one of the ends on the surface of the machine in about the correct position. Now I push with my finger on the film on that end to keep it in place and gently pull the backing paper from under the film. I measure the position and shift it gently to the correct place. Now I keep one end in place with my thumb and gently rub the film to the other end with a piece of cloth to push the water from under it. I do the same to the other end. Then a little more correction and it's okay. The decal is applied to the front of the machine. Now I do the same for the decal on the carriage. I let the decals dry for 2 days, and then I apply a thin layer of high gloss transparent spray paint to protect them. I think this Smith Premier typewriter looks pretty smart now. I'm happy with the result. Project finished. Thank you for watching this video.